Hi, I'm Laura Jenkin. Now, throughout the chapters on ethics and moral values, they're basically what you are learning and focusing on, basing your ethics, which can fall into your behavior and your moral values that you learn as you're growing up throughout your life. Learning these values can be hard with each individual person because we all grow up in different environments, and many of our cultural values in our family can vary. I did actually find like the golden rule in the book. I found it kind of interesting, but I also found it to be controversial to some. The saying says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." I kind of think of that as like as well as a saying, "an eye for an eye," because I think it could lead to a more revengeful approach. For me personally, I was not brought up to be a revengeful person, but I would want to be treated fairly, justly, and show kindness to everyone. But I do have personal experience. I was working with juvenile delinquents, um, and some of their family moral values and ethics would be nothing like mine or anybody else. So when you think of taking away from the lesson something like this, those that are less fortunate are ones that can grow up in bad households that may not have a positive example to help guide them in their belief in ethics in the world. But I do know that, maybe people as they grow up, they might be able to try to change some of those throughout their life if they choose to do that. I can help by talking about the example, either make you see things from ethical reasoning or moral value standpoint in life. I did actually find the sleep test in the book. It's a good example as well, because I found if it's uneasy about your choice, you may not sleep well, but if you feel confident in a fundamental belief of your choice, you would sleep soundly. Now, I did look into the next chapter as well, talking about the business world. There's different standards between your moral behavior that are observed and evaluated, such as attitude, customs, and rules. Your ethical behavior should be separate with the moral standards and ethical concepts, and every business has a code of ethics to help support the day-to-day decision making, which has a dual purpose to support the stakeholders and a guide to managers and employees in making decisions every day. This can be easily ignored by many organizations. I find it to be interesting with the example about a friend in a workplace that was hoping to get the promotion to a marketing director, but the friend was working in the sales department. And it was told by their boss they hired someone outside the company already, but they wouldn't be formally announcing it for a few weeks. So that kind of made the person in the sales department kind of feel awkward about it. In the book, talked about it was an example of a truth versus loyalty approach when making that decision. That it was interesting that there are different decisions that they could make using a ends base, a rules base, which those two I've never heard of before. So that was something that I had learned is interesting. And then the golden rule, which I kind of had some experience, as I said, with that. But I can see other ways on a personal level, differences versus a business ethical with that in my experience. Now, I did find myself familiar with some examples that there was some unethical behavior in the workplace, but it may not necessarily be illegal what you're doing. Sometimes you could find an issue going on at work where maybe they're trying to do things to make those quarter end sales numbers or year end things to do, which it may not necessarily be illegal what they're wanting to do, but it may not morally or ethically. It would make me personally question whether I'd want to continue working at this place of business. And that's all today. Thank you.